Yes, I have seen it. This is Carcino, and once again, I expected it. You knew it was gonna happen. When it don't surprise me the level, like people don't realize that they expose themselves more than they bring light to the subject. Candace Owens is the type of person that would use this as a moment to bring attention to herself. She thinks she's doing the party a favor, right? Because she's trying to use her skin complexion as, look, I'm black and this is what I think. I don't go with the masses. I go with the right wing. But I never hear Candace Owens make these excuses when it's not in African Americans, you know, wheelhouse. When the right wing don't do what they're supposed to do, she becomes defensive. She goes in defensive mode and tries to blame other people from another party. When you do things that's based in slight on party, your views cannot be trusted. So you condemning black men, for y'all who don't know what's going on, and if you were avoiding it or didn't want to hear it or just don't know who this is, this is the lady who brainwashed Kanye West and he had to get away from. So let that sink in. Whenever Kanye West feel like I gotta get away from you, like you just gone. I thought you was something else, and yeah, you're out there. So when she did an Instagram live to get attention to herself, and she condemns George Floyd, and then try to say, "Oh, I'm with his family," though. She plays that oxymoron, but she's just a complete moron. But let's go to the situation, and let you listen to the beginning. A lot of people don't hear the beginning; they listen to just a sound bite of what this idiot said. But let's listen to the beginning. The beginning is more troubling than anything, but I have to let you listen to the beginning.
All right. I have been sitting on how I felt about this George Floyd situation now for a few weeks, and I'm finally ready to say what I know to be true. And I am aware it's going to make a lot of people hate me. But at the end of the day, I think truth is more important, and especially in times of tremendous deceit, which I think we are in today. I am talking specifically to the heart of Black America right now. I'm speaking to you. If you can share this video to Black Americans, they're going to be angry with me, but it needs to be said. So let's just start at the beginning of where my train of thought comes from. You guys know that I am a huge fan of the writings of Walter Williams, Shelby Steele, and Thomas Sowell. They have really informed many of the things that I think about today. To me, being a Black conservative is not a trend. It is not just being a Trump supporter. It is about doing the hard work and the research and learning the things, the things behind what conservatism, the foundation of what conservatism really is, really. And I came across something in Shelby Steele's book that hit me like a truck, and it has stuck with me, and it has transformed me. And I hope that when I repeat this to you, it will transform you, Black Americans, to realize that there is something very ugly and broken about our culture. And the only way we're going to fix it is if we're honest about it. So Shelby Steele was talking in his book, I believe it was White Guilt, and he was talking about something unique about the culture of Black Americans that you will not find in any other culture in America. And it is the fact that we cater to the bottom denominator of our society. Let me explain what he means by that. He means to say that we are the only community that will get outraged and get up and organize and picket and protest to defend the bottom denominator of our community, meaning criminals, burglars, robbers, anything that you commit a crime, only Black Americans will be out picketing to defend the criminals. It is not something that white Americans do, not something that Jewish Americans do. You will be hard pressed to find a Jewish American who has a rap sheet as long as the day, and something bad happens to that person, and Jewish people are using their platform to speak out in defense of that person. It won't happen. Same for white Americans. Not a single white American is out there defending Derek Chauvin. They will dispose of the people that they think are, are at the bottom of their society, and they will instead uplift the people that are at the top of their society.
Wow. So I want to stop it there because there were very key words mentioned in that thing. She used words like transform. When people are brainwashed, they use words like transform a lot. And I hope I get to transform you. Just because you've been brainwashed and transformed, you who probably have been detached from the black community for a very long time to try to understand why black people do what they do. And that's because they come from the bottom. The majority of us come from what the world and other high society, whites and Jewish, completely look and view us as the bottom. We know the majority of the people that they say did things probably didn't do it at all. As you can see from what's been happening here, when white Americans come out and start calling police on black men and lying and saying they're doing things that they weren't doing. So we take the sides of the black people because we know what it's like being in that situation. We identify that this man comes from nothing, and we're not defending any. I don't know anybody that's defending somebody that's murdering and raping people in the black community. We defend the situation that he might have been framed. We can't trust what the other side is going to do based on history and fact. So yes, we understand why the person next to us is selling drugs because the Jewish and the white man gave it to him. But you won't admit that. And my goodness, Trump's a criminal. Jeffrey Epstein was. I don't I don't see anybody was saying they had to go when they needed to be out. I don't see you champion for that. Maybe I should write Black Guilt and put it in the book and see how you feel about that. See, it's these kind of ideals that destroy any type of progress. You know how it's the flame is going down. You got the fires a little bit under control. People are start being less violent, and they're doing peaceful protests now. And it's less of the looters and the violence. All of that stuff is subsiding. You need somebody to get you back mad. This woman says she's been sitting on it for a couple of weeks. How you gonna sit on it for a couple of weeks and it ain't been a couple of weeks? You see, this is the type of behavior, you know, this is the type of behavior that mainly come from right-wing thinking people. They can only think in the best interests of their right wing. She's coming out making this statement because Drew Brees got attacked. That's why. So she wants to do a sidebar show where they send this dark skinned woman out there to dance and buck. She was told by the people she look up to who don't look like her, told her to go out there and start buck dancing and kicking her legs and shaking her butt. Just create a distraction of where all the anger that was going towards Drew Brees can go on over to Candace Owens. So I'm telling you guys, don't be fooled when you hear her. I'm not going to give it any attention. She tries to undermine and point out all the things bad George Floyd has done in his life just so she could say, he wasn't a good person. He wasn't a martyr. Listen, this is not about George Floyd. This is about Breonna Taylor. This is about Avery. This is about a whole list. This is about the black guy who the white lady called the cop on. This is about everybody being discriminated against, and it's been coming in waves. This was just the last thing that people was willing to take. George Floyd, seeing him die in that manner, that's just enough. We just saw two black men killed. Ahmaud Arbery just killed on film just 2 weeks prior. Then here we got George Floyd killed on the internet. You know, black people are fed up. So nobody's making him a martyr. Okay? He was just the last one that they want to see. They don't want to see no more. So after that, they just like, look, we just can't sit by and let this go. So he's just the last person. Okay, that so this is about all of it. So it's not about what he did. Oh, he committed a crime in '82. Nobody care about that. He didn't deserve what he got, and to die in that manner, and everybody knows that. But quit trying to make it like this what it was about. Now, I'm not saying indefinitely not inciting anyone to go out and commit crimes and violence. That is not the answer. You're basically doing what people want you to do. Do the right thing and what they don't expect you to do. Do it peacefully. Because this protest had more blacks, whites, Hispanics, Indian people. I'm all fine for that. If you want to protest and you want to hold signs up and draw attention, there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. 100%. But going out, hurting other people who haven't done anything, destroying properties, destroying all these stores and everything over there, once you do that, now it's going to another area. Now you're going to take away from everything you were doing for movement purposes and make yourself look like savages when you do that. Now you give the other side, who you're trying to get respect from, to look and say, look, but why are they acting like savages? And that's what's been happening. They're trying to blame it all 100% on African Americans. And you should already know that some bad apples will ruin the bunch. And rather saying, okay, we that is wrong, we're gonna condemn that, we got to move forward. We understand that is an issue, but that has been died down because people have been doing that in the streets. They're not reporting it on the news, but out there in the real world, people are out there. They're controlling the situation. They're talking to these kids, speaking to the youth. I spent an hour and a half today talking to a group of young people on this live scat stream thing. We got a chat room, and they asked me to get involved and speak to them young people that was out there on the south side. I want to thank Greg for setting that up. I, so I was supposed to talk for 20 minutes. I ended up talking basically for an hour. Not gonna do an hour here, but giving them information and just hearing different people talk about actual what they needed to do. They just was tired of not being heard. Some of them was just breaking stuff just out of frustration, but it wasn't just them. So I don't need to record that video and put that video out like, oh, that's gonna be a good video to send out to me. No, 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 no. That's a moment for them and those people that was talking. A lot of stuff they said is not made. That's not wasn't even meant for the internet. So that was for them. And if everybody do that with each group, and we got people that's on the grounds, giving them information, giving them things that they need to know in this time right now, in this new era, because what people are not focused on is that the new reality is things are going to be a lot different when this COVID-19 situation turn around. It's going to be an entirely different situation financially, as far as businesses and everything else. And when you wake up and realize you're going to have to drive 20 miles to a store to get some goods and supplies that you're going to need, then that's when it's going to start to hit you. You know, unfortunately, that's when it's going to start to hit you. That there's a smarter way to do it. But this is from lack of leadership in the communities, a lack of people getting to know each other. This didn't used to be, so it used to be some type of different stimulus to in the neighborhood where there was an OG in the neighborhood you respected. You're like, hey, we don't mess around over there, you knew the people in your neighborhood and you knew who to respect. Now that's like, we don't care who, I don't know who that old head is anyway, and they just moving around. And that was a failure that the younger generation, or our generation, that I felt we lacked that. Everybody cared about getting theirs. And the people that made it and had the platform chose to let somebody else do it. I gotta get mine. And when you do that, they gonna be like, well, nobody teach me nothing. And they just going off what they know. You got a bunch of lost sheep out there and trying to be leaders, and they don't know how to be. And they didn't have the education. They didn't have the background of knowledge of knowing the things that's happened in the past and knowing the results of that. They don't know about the Dr. Martin Luther King, what happened on the west side of Chicago. They don't know about all that stuff. They don't know about any of it because no one was really teaching them anything. So they going off experience, and that's what I got from talking to the youth today. In the communities. Like, look, nobody cared about us till 2 days ago. And, that's how a lot of them felt. So I'm just letting don't get caught up in the dog and pony show. She just wants some attention. She want to be trending, and it's all to take the attention away from Drew Brees. It's your boy Carcino. I'm out. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button, and God bless you.